Welcome everyone, Out of the Woo here. As the recording of this, it is Sunday, Easter Sunday, April 9th, 2023. I'm in Washington, D.C. I found a parking structure just down the way here that was $22 for the full day. And they are open till midnight, so I have quite a bit of time to gallivant. D.C. right there. That's where the Chuds live. I think that was NYC, however. They both end in the sea. I'm inviting you as I see some things in DC. Maybe I should order a cab. Probably not. I'll probably just kind of walk. Mr. T would probably show up and drive me around town. Maybe that would be pretty awesome. Join me, shall you? Check this out. So I've been to the city a couple times, but I've never been over to Ford Theater. This building here, which is that building, is where Mr. Booth was kind of camped out, using it for the plotting of the demise of Abraham Lincoln. I've never been to Ford Theater, so I'm gonna walk by there. Don't know if they're doing tours, and most likely, most likely if they are doing tours, it might be sold out. If they're doing a tour this early, I might jump on it. Time of the day is 10:32. That was the lot I parked in. I tried to find street parking. It was pretty filled up. So luckily I got that lot. But you can see something's going on over here. You got a lot of the flags. Got the I Love DC gifts and quite a line. That must be Ford Theater. That's where it happened. Yeah, Ford Theater. Center for Education and Leadership. There he is up there, his silhouette, well, his photograph in the window. There's like an ear-piercing squeal happening, like an alarm of some sort. And this is right next to Ford's Theater. In this house, April 15th, 1865 at 7:22 a.m. So you breathe this last breath. Right next to the theater itself. Connected. All the t-shirts over there at that stand are 3 for $20. Now you purchase tickets over here across the street. The interesting thing is, well, not the interesting thing is, but the confusing thing is, this is run by the National Park System, and they got some weird rules now for filming in national parks. I don't know if that applies to like pop-up exhibits like they would be, you know, in Philadelphia or DC and those areas. I don't know if that applies. Can you film in there? There's a gentleman at the front lifting a cinder block. It's like doing reps with a cinder block in front of Ford's Theater. I'm not really sure why. All right, I stand completely corrected. So this was the house they brought Lincoln over across the street from. This is Ford's Theater here. So I completely was incorrect on that. This is the theater. Evidently, when you purchase tickets in, you see there's a line to get in over there. When you purchase tickets to get in, you can also get a tour over there afterwards. So you exit out of here and go over there. Let me see if I can get in. I was listening to the park ranger talking to some of the other guests. He said you can take all the pictures you want. Don't think that means video. Also, the line that's over there is for entry at 11:15. It's about 10:40 right now, and it seems like those are prepaid tickets. So I might have to do that another time. There's a lot to see. Check out Lincoln's waffle shop right here. So I never knew that President Lincoln, you know, liked waffles, but I guess that's like a real thing. Getting my presidents confused. Maybe it was George Washington that I thought liked waffles, but I guess Abraham Lincoln also liked waffles. Now I could do one of those trolley tours just pulling away. I think I'm just gonna hoof it. I think I'm gonna walk it. See what I can find. This place looks really dang awesome. Ollie's Trolley. This place has been here for a while. Look at this. It's a little too early for me to eat. Usually I'll eat a little later in the day. So I need to get a coffee, but check it out. Look at this. This old neon of the train there. Here at Ollie's Trolley. I think if I follow this direction down East Street, I'll connect up with the White House. Got a lot of people skating over here. This little area, flat area over here. A few skaters out. There's another trolley going by. There's a lot of trolleys all over. Just such impressive buildings in this area of the country. Huge. This gives some information about the Great Seal of the United States. In 1776, Continental Congress adopted a resolution calling for the creation of the seal of a new nation. E pluribus unum. And then the pyramid here with the all-foreseeing eye. Oh wow, shift over just a little bit. And there's the Capitol building. This walkway should take me up to the front of what I'm looking for. There's a little information stand over there. I mean, there's a lot of really monumental items around here, but look at this thing. That is a relic. Zamboni of some sort? Now, from this perspective, there's definitely a lot of people over here getting their photo. But can't really see too much. Look, they got something in the yard over there. I think the other angle, where I think there's a park on the other side, I think I'll have to walk completely around it to get the better angle than from where I am at over here. Can't see too, can barely see it from here. All right, this makes sense because it is Easter Sunday, so they are doing the Easter egg roll over there on the property. So everyone's over here gathering, hoping to see someone they might recognize.
Wow.
I think I'm gonna walk around the other side. And off in the distance, a few hundred yards that direction, is the Washington Monument. But take a look at the planes taking off. You see a plane going over there, departing from the DC airport. Every vehicle that goes in has to be searched. So up here, you can see there's a canine unit. And then also if you try to drive in this way, you're gonna have bad luck. So the canine will go completely around that minivan or that SUV. And then he'll say, good to go. Not the canine, but the officer will say, we'll wave him through. Got the steam coming out of the ground there as the traffic goes by. And directly behind the permeating steam is a gift shop over there. Time for a piping hot caffeinated beverage on the corner of Pennsylvania Ave. Right over here at Pete's. Also, more merchandise on the corner. All right, I got it. Pete's. Now heading over this direction. This is kind of interesting too. You get over here, there's like little corrals. Almost like cow pens or something. I don't really know exactly what that is for. I guess just to like not only have one stanchion here, you have a secondary stanchion and not cross over there. However, plenty of people have crossed over down over that way. And clearly I'm not the only one with the same idea to go up and get a view of the White House, get a photo in front of the White House, because there's a lot of people up here. I'll go up to the front gate. Yeah, quite a few people out here on Easter Sunday, in front of the nation's capital, in front of the home of the president, the White House. Just trying to get a little doggy over there.
Come on, right here. Take a picture for you.
Oh, water fountain. Exactly what he was. Look at Mama. Look at Mama.
I would love to meet a living U.S. president. Doesn't matter what party it is. As long as it's a living president, I think it would be pretty dang cool. You know, if one was walking around here right now, I'd probably throw them on camera, ask them a couple questions. Ask them what their favorite piping hot caffeinated beverage would be. Right? I think presidents probably drink coffee, right? No. They have to. They got a lot on their minds. Guy in front of me turned around for a moment. I thought it was Steve Martin. It's not though, I thought it was. All right, looking at this, I guess I was just standing on, looking down into the north lawn. So you kind of have a, so it says you are here. This is the northeast gate, East Executive Park, Lafayette Park, which is kind of what I just showed. Then I was standing looking into the north lawn. South lawn is where they're going to have all the Easter festivities. 1600 block, Pennsylvania Ave. This is the Treasury Department. Out front is in honor of Albert Gallatin, Secretary of the Treasury, a genius of finance. And I'm not just putting words, don't take the words out of my mouth. It says it right there on the sculpture. A genius. I'd like to talk to him if he was still alive, learn a few things. Out front of this building is Marion Barry Jr., signified, quote, Mayor for life. There's some more quotes over here. Most people don't know me. I remember Marion Barry. This is excerpts from his autobiography. Mayor for life. Be immortalized out front of here, this building. I'm heading over to one of the Smithsonians that has a pop culture exhibit. Last time I was here, a few years ago, it was under construction. So I wanted to come back to check that out. Across the way there is the Internal Revenue Service. Boo! One thing you also see a lot of around the museum district down here are a lot of food trucks. Ice cream trucks, food trucks, taco stands, just a plethora of food options that you can get right here on the street. They're all lined up right over there. And also during this time is the National Cherry Blossom Festival. They have the banners right up. National Cherry Blossom Festival is happening right now as well. This says join the entertainment nation, which I would like to do. It looks like the Warner Brothers Theater is closed off for whatever reason. But last time I was here, there was really none of this open. So a lot of the historical stuff, you know, this steel guitar belonged to Buddy Emmons down here. So just a lot of pop culture stuff all through here that I want to see. And was kind of, I was disappointed, but definitely when I was here last time, none of this was out. But I've returned. It's Peralta skateboard. I really like this saying. Punctuality removes the necessity of thinking up excuses. That's a good one. I know quite a few people that could probably learn from that. I don't have a lot of good qualities in my life, but I think probably being on time is not one of my worst ones. I'm pretty decent at that. This car belongs to Dave Jaramillo. It's called Dave's Dream. This lowrider here with hydraulics. It's got the painting on the side. Dave Jr. inscribed there as well. Nice. And one thing that's pretty neat as a tourist here in DC, all the Smithsonian exhibits do not cost admission at the door. I'm sure probably taxes help pay for that and all as well. But these Mickey Mouse here says here were used on the Mickey Mouse Club, first used in 1955. But that is a discrepancy because you could see those Mickey Mouse ears say Walt Disney World shouldn't have been open until 71. I guess what it could mean is those style of ears were first shown on the Mickey Mouse Club. That makes a little bit more sense. A lot of nostalgia in here. Obviously there's the Odyssey game right here. There's a Barbie up top. I think the Barbie movie's coming out soon. Got Simon up top. Always like Simon. They even have the brown box here, which I believe predated Pong as the prototype for the first multiplayer, multi-program video game system developed between 67 and 69. I have to walk through this big safe door. Wealth is not his that has it, but his that enjoys it. Look at these coins. So this is like, you see my finger here, that's my thumb. Look at the size of that coin. This is the Ulysses S. Grant collection, dating back to commemorative coins here. 1582, some of them. Big. These medallions and plaques by coin artists, including Benjamin Franklin and Theodore Roosevelt here. All right, I looked on the guide map, but I didn't see anything about a pop culture exhibit. So maybe it was late last year, maybe it's not in 23. I'm just gonna wander around and see what I can find. A lot of old posters out here and advertisements like Burma Shave over here as well. Marlboro Country. Now this makes me want to really eat a candy bar. I could have the physique of this guy down here. And she is just like swooning. Well, probably not over him, probably over the chocolate. You know, who doesn't like a Mars chocolate bar? Toasted almond bar. Yeah, spoiler alert. If you live on these, you won't look like that. Also in here's an advertisement for the 4th TV network. Now there's like 1,000 channels, there's streaming, there's just all kind of stuff. And imagine when there was only 3 networks and the 4th network was like big news. Also, there's Colonel Sanders up there towards the roof. I am now going up the escalator to another floor.
He's reinforced in there because he's 12 tons of Italian marble, but he's been there ever since. Since we think it's so important of him returning that power to people, it gives you a different way to think about that first founding culture.
Okay, this is a clue. Find the force. That's probably the area I'm looking for. Over in 3 West. There's a wagon. They do have an exhibit over here. In fact, they have the flag that inspired the anthem, the Star Spangled Banner, down there, but they asked no filming in that exhibit. So I'm up here on the 3rd level, still looking for the pop culture exhibit. All the signs said 3 West, which is where I'm at. Edison's talking machine, right over here. One of the tinfoil phonographs used for demonstration back in 1873. And then Bell's graphophone is over, dated 1886 over here. Take a look at this. This is how you would listen to music, the records there. All right, this could be what I am thinking of, the Ray and Dagmar Dolby Hall of American Culture, where they have a vast amount of different pop culture items. Let's just call this the Pop Culture Museum that I was thinking at the Smithsonian, the American culture. And the first thing I'm drawn to when I first walk in here are the screen-used costumes of 3PO and R2-D2 from my favorite of the Star Wars film, Return of the Jedi. Jedi Luke, green saber. This was R2 and 3PO screen use in that film. And also the very first sock puppet of Kermit that was made by Jim Henson is also in here, which is pretty fascinating when you think about it. The very first one, you can see it's got a little bit of usage on it and everything over the years. Also Dorothy's ruby slippers, dated back to 1939. I believe there were a few different ones of these. These were obviously screen used, but I think there was more than one. I think there's one at the Academy Museum in LA as well, unless maybe they just transferred around mobily. Also Joe Louis's boxing gloves from his first bout back in 1936 with Max, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, Max Schmeling, but these belong to Joe Louis. And then also it filmed at the Malibu Creek State Park was the signpost from the set of MASH. I've been out there, I've hiked around out there, but from 1982, the signpost, you see Boston at the top, Honolulu at the bottom, Burbank in the middle, San Francisco, Tokyo, the vast amount of different ones. But this was out at the filming locations in California, which is pretty dang cool. Next up was Sylvester Stallone's boxing robe from Rocky in 1976 that he wore in the film itself. And you kind of scan around, there's some sci-fi stuff as well, including the prop egg from Alien, not Aliens. I kind of like Aliens better than Alien, but Alien was pretty terrifying. Cyndi Lauper's screen used, well, photograph used, you know, from the album cover of She's So Unusual. I love Cyndi Lauper. Never thought I'd actually see the dress that she had, which is pretty awesome. Even Muhammad Ali wore this back in 1974 when he went up against George Foreman. And this I've always heard of. It's kind of interesting that they have the chair, Archie Bunker and Edith's chairs from All in the Family back in the 70s. As awesome as this is, I kind of wish that the Three's Company couch had been saved and was in a museum somewhere, you know, in a Smithsonian or any, but I think that was just kind of thrown in a dumpster. But they do have Archie Bunker's chair and Edith's chair from All in the Family, which is pretty dang cool. And not just that, there's also other stuff like Mr. Rogers, his outfit, Mr. Rogers, and then Oscar the Grouch screen used Oscar the Grouch and Howdy Doody. Just a wide variety of stuff. You know, definitely worth checking out. I'm really glad it's open. Even Catwoman, Julie Newmar's outfit that she wore, her ears and whatnot as well. Definitely worth checking out. I think I'm going to leave on the way out and show one last thing. Clayton Moore, a Lone Ranger, wore this very mask. Also filmed in California as well. The Lone Ranger Rock, I've been there too. This is just such a great exhibit. Definitely worth stopping in. Definitely worth stopping in. Kind of curious to see also if the Starship Enterprise is still over at the Air Museum. See if I can go and walk over there and find that. Even from here you can see the Capitol building off in the distance. A lot of ice cream with these food trucks. In fact, I think all these food trucks are bubble tea, boba tea, ice cream. This is the Museum of Natural History. Oh, is this where they have the... Gosh, I think there's like a tusked woolly mammoth in here, if I recall correctly. Maybe this is the one. Okay, it's basically an elephant. So this just reminds me of, gosh, probably 10, oh, someone just dropped a jacket down off the little balcony. 10 or 11 years ago, it was right when I... Oh, they're yelling. No dropping of jackets off the upper level. So when I first started YouTube, I quit my job in August 9th of 2011 and just started traveling in my van, was sleeping in my van. And the first time I came to DC after that, it wasn't like, it may not have been that first couple months. It might have been into early 2013, late 2012, early 2013. But within that first year, I came here to this very building, and I believe I was up there, or maybe up there, but I was on the second level and I was looking down at this, and I started to get a little misty-eyed, I started to get a little emotional, because it was on a weekday, and I thought to myself, I should be at work, because I was so used to working, you know, a banker's hour type of job. Even though I work Monday through Thursday, I work 10-hour shifts. The last job I had at a feed store, I worked 8 to 6 every day, Monday through Thursday, and it was like, you know, it was like on a Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. It was one of those days I should have been at work in St. Cloud, Florida, and I was in DC looking at this, and I thought to myself, what am I doing? And I just was overcome with emotion. Whether it be good, whether it be bad, probably happy emotions, happy tears, if you will. I mean, it wasn't a full-on cry fest, but I definitely got a little misty-eyed up there looking down at this, thinking to myself, we're really doing it, aren't we, buddy? From to use Dumb and Dumber, but I was talking to myself. Yeah, now I'm back in here. I think it's the first time I've stepped foot and looked at this tusked elephant since then. Anyway, I digress for a little bit, but back to DC. You could spend a week in DC looking at everything, honestly. You really could. Just amazing. Just an amazing place. All right, I ended up getting a tea. I went with the honeydew. I asked if it was pretty good. They said, oh yeah, it's pretty good. I was like, this was $10. Different flavors and whatnot. All right, I'm gonna walk around. They got the right idea to block the sun with those yellow umbrellas. It is pretty dang good. Get one of the little boba balls in the straw there, stuck in the straw. All right, I'm on a quest to see the Enterprise. It's over at the other museum. Quite a few people out today, enjoying this beautiful weather. Scenic structures here at the mall. That's what they call it, the mall. Doing some heavy construction over here. The National Air and Space Museum. It says entrance on Independence Ave. I gotta wonder how many of these ice cream, boba tea, food trucks that there are here in DC. There's a lot of them. Oh, is there a line to get in? Sad trombone moment. No more passes available today. I mean, it is Easter, so that kind of makes sense, but it's interesting, all the other ones, you just walk right in. No big deal. I guess this is a little more popular than some of the other ones. You guys wonder why there was a long line over there. I guess they already have their passes. It may not be the best day to be in DC to try to do touristy things, but I'm doing it anyway. Whenever I look at the Capitol building, I immediately think of Bad Brains. One of my favorite punk bands. Got some very beautiful ducks here in the little pond out front that reflect that. I wouldn't call this a reflecting pond. Well, maybe it was a reflect. I guess you could do some reflecting when you're looking over here. But yeah, some very beautiful ducks right there. Looks like they're doing some construction on it. The whole front facade's covered up. Ooh, might need some brakes. There it is, Capitol building. Yeah, you can see how they got the little scrim up there. The covering. I think when the president is inaugurated, I think that's where he stands, and this whole area is just full of people all the way back down. I think this is the side. Pretty sure this is the side. For posterity. What is that noise? It's like a horn or something over there. For posterity. When in Rome, or when in DC. And over here too, it looks like the water fountains are always constantly on. I mean, I use self-pumping gas nozzles, but I've never seen a self-propelled pumping water faucet for drinking out of. Look how it kind of slithers around, it's almost like a snake swirling around there.
Like a drinking fountain.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've just never seen one that's always on like that.
Yeah, neither have I. There's another one actually, the hexagon over there. The
okay.
Hexagon, right
Where?
to the left of the Capitol.
Okay, cool, thank you. All right, I believe I'm gonna walk all the way up to the front and get a little bit of a closer peek at the front of the building as well. Instead of just standing all the way in the back, I walked all the way up to the front. You can walk up here. They do not have it blocked off or obscured. Anybody can just walk up all the way close to the fountain at the front and look at the front of the Capitol building from this angle. I think it might actually be around the back of the Capitol building, but I don't know. It's either the front or the back, but this is the most popular photographed area of the Capitol building. And one thing's for sure today, I'm definitely gonna get some steps in. At the end of the video, I'll throw in the total that I walked. I'm gonna guess probably 20K. There is a blue chicken up on that little banister up there on that roof line. Not sure why the chicken's blue. I'm not sure why it's oversized and up there. But there it is. Chicken alert. May I take your jacket, sir? I think that's probably, I don't know if that's the words that were used, but. There's a pretty cool little fact over here. Here at 601 Pennsylvania Ave, on this site, back in 1814, the Star Spangled Banner was first sung in public. The most famous of several hotels on the block was Brown Marble Hotel, a Greek landmark where John Tyler and Abraham Lincoln were guests. In the 1830s, Beverly Snow operated a restaurant on the corner of 6th Avenue and Atlantic coastline, and that is where the first Star Spangled Banner was sung to the public. Probably sung in private, obviously to practice. Pretty dang cool. And I hear the Star Spangled Banner probably, I don't know how many times a year, but when you go to baseball games, a lot. Beginning of every baseball game and pretty much every sporting event, but you know, I only watch baseball, so. But yeah, a lot of renditions I've heard of that. The first one was right here on this corner, on this site, 1601 Pennsylvania Ave. That is pretty dang cool. Over in front of the National Bank of Washington are very interesting picnic tables. They are made up of swings. You can like sit here, someone's left their food and their beverages, but yeah, they're like made out of swings. Take a look at that. You can sit and swing while you eat your meal. You hear the subway underneath there. Hello, birdie. Yeah, nice to meet you too. Saying hi, huh? Making my way back over to my rental car now. America's oldest existing religious newspaper was first published on the city block at 925 East Street in February of 1822. I always like when places have these little placards out, let you know the history of things that you would just walk right past and not know. There goes another one of the trolleys. This old church is pretty awesome looking. You see, it almost looks like a clock up top. I guess that'd probably be like a stained glass. Maybe the sun could go through it. Now, originally the place I parked at is about a half a block from here, but I was going to park down in over here on 975 Carroll, but I would have had to move my car by 1. But it looks like it's still open even at 3. So maybe they kept it open a little longer, but I didn't want to take a chance, so I went to a different one. But they opened this up for Easter Sunday church service, and some of the other ones down here, which I think are usually closed on Sunday, might have had open today. I'm not really sure, but they said they were going to close that one at 1, but the door's still open. Nonetheless, I parked at a different one, but I want to point out how impressive looking this old brick church is. Back over in the parking structure, it says take ticket with you, which I did. That's a big ticket. In fact, you need the ticket to open this door from street level, or you can't. I think I'm going to carry my ticket just like this. Price of parking, $22.35 for the full day. I think that's pretty much worth it to not drive around, try to figure out where to park. And I could have stayed here till midnight if I so choose. And I'm getting dumped out right next to Ford Theater. What's the channel again?
DC News Now.
DC News Now.
Yep.
So this is Bumblebee. Or that's Bumblebee. That's Bumblebee. And this is Optimus. So I guess there's like a little bit of a hoopla and a stink over the homeowner having this out here. But right next is the Exorcist house over here.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
You bet. Take care. Thank you for that.
I was just interviewed for the news station. So I'm interested to see if that ends up on there. DC News Now, I think? Or DC News 9? Anyway, on the way back to my hotel, I wanted to swing by this because this was my favorite horror film. Actually, the owner's pulling in there now. So this was the Exorcist house where Reagan... Oh, like, check it out, the cherry blossoms are blooming. So if you've ever seen the film, I highly recommend it. It's very scary. Very, very, very scary film. But here on the corner of Prospect, 3600 Street, Northwest Prospect, is where the priest gets out, comes out, stands right here. They built an extension onto the house here. And so when it flies out the window at the end, the priest, Karis, flies out the window at the end, goes down the stairs. The stairs are right over here. But where the priest gets dropped off, I believe, was like in a taxi, gets out of the vehicle, stands here, and you see the extension of the house here. This is Screen U's original formation here, and then the priest was standing here, and the fog and everything was there, and the angle would have been kind of like that. Many years ago, I did an entire filming location of it, which is easily searchable. You know, I probably I think I missed a couple things, but I got the majority of it. I got the school, the church, the house, the steps, all that. This is the corner of 36th Street and Prospect. That's probably one of my first filming locations. Much too vulgar display of power, Karis. Pantera got the name of their album from that. So the house extended over this way, and Karis threw himself down these stairs. Look at this. Now when I think of stairs, this guy's running up fast. I definitely think of the Exorcist steps. I mean, a lot of people think of the Joker steps, but I would say this is definitely, for me, man, horror history right here. And that's gonna do it for today. Ending here. This triumphant horror filming location. I'll see you in the next video, the vlog. Just don't jump down those stairs. There's someone else looking for Reagan. Not the president. Reagan. She was up in that top room up there. Man. Very few horror films scare me. That one scared me. That's a doozy. That one, The Omen, Shining. The other ones are kind of campy. I can kind of look at them as like a kind of almost fun in a way. Those 3 or 4 in this one. Not a fun film. Horrifying. I'll see you in the next video. DC's right over there. Georgetown and DC are kind of right beside each other. The vlog. What if I make it on the news? That'd be kind of cool. It'd be kind of weird, impulsive. The vlog is over. This is how close the steps are from the film to DC. It was downtown over there. So if you go up these stairs I'm gonna walk, this is bonus footage, by the way. Bonus footage. This is the bottom of the stairs. It actually says it right here.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
1973, William Friedkin. Warner Brothers. Man, what a great film. At the end, he's laying right here.